Well, we take a break from domestic football this week on Sports Spread and concentrate on the opening qualifying rounds for the 2014 World Cup. Plus, after all the excitement in Belgium last week, we'll assess who can win this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix at Monza. Joining me is Reuters' own Owen Wyatt and Russ Wiseman from Sporting Bet. Gents, thanks very much indeed for joining us once again. Let's start off with England against Moldova. Owen, Adam Johnson, the latest to pull out of this match, but England too strong for these minnows, surely?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I rate Roy Hodgson as a manager. I think what we managed to put together at the Euros was a fine accomplishment, winning the group and pushing Italy all the way. He is a top manager. You know, I was winding Liverpool fans up over the weekend about the fact they should have kept him on and given him more of a chance.
But the pressure's now on. I mean, he basically got through the Euros without any pressure because he had no time.
We will get through this group, no problem at all, and we'll get off with a win at the weekend.
OK. Russ, let's talk about how you make money out of this, because England clear favourites. How do you bet on this one?
Very difficult, Nigel, but I absolutely back up what Owen says. England are actually really efficient and very clinical, professional actually.
I'm not sure I'm hearing correctly what's going on here.
What they're very good at though is beating teams that aren't quite as good as them, and they're very efficient in doing it. I mean, if you see the prices here, they make no appeal at all. 11-1 for Moldova to win the game. England 2-7, so you've got to put 70 quid on to win a score. Very difficult indeed for people to make big money at that. But the records tell a story, don't they? England tend to win these kind of games. It won't be pretty, it won't be pleasant. It tends to be 1-0, 2-0, the correct kind of scores that we usually see.
So horrible to watch, in other words.
Pretty grim, but again, they tend to get the job done, and I take Owen's point as well. I mean, you know, you can't really knock Roy Hodgson. He'll have a safe conveyance through his group without any shadow of doubt.
I couldn't believe some of the things I was hearing during the Euros. People moaning about England being bad to watch. They're there to win, get to the final and win. And the other thing is, people talking about injuries this week. There isn't much news to talk around about these fixtures, but people say injuries to this and that and the other. Hodgson knows who he's going to slot in. Right. No problem.
OK, well, let's talk about Tuesday's match as well, very briefly, at Wembley against Ukraine. Clearly, Ukraine have got something to prove about some goal line technology, if nothing else. But will England get through that one as well?
No problem at all, yeah. I'm backing England all the way here. I think they'll drop points away from home, but they'll cruise through this group.
And Ukraine will be big underdogs in that game. England will be red-hot odds-on favourites again, Nigel, regardless of the result in Moldova. Wembley, painfully difficult place to come to for any of these European sides.
OK, well, let's move on to some of the other home nations then. Scotland and Wales in Group A. The Scots are playing Serbia and Macedonia. Wales play Belgium and Serbia. Owen, can either of them get out of this group?
Wales will finish bottom of their group. Belgium are red hot, Russ, aren't they? Everyone's all over Belgium at the minute.
Yeah, he's right, Nigel. I mean, this is a brutal little group, actually. If you have a look at that, I mean, Owen there trying to shrewdly take money out of my pocket. I don't like this bottom of the table wooden spoon bet, but that really is a lively possibility. And let's not forget about Belgium here. This is the trendy team, the team on everyone's lips at the moment. Everybody backing Belgium to win the World Cup, not just to win this group, Nigel, to win the World Cup. 66-1. Look at the players in that team. Fellaini, Hazard, just to name but a couple. And Dembele. There's some really great players there. And
Vermaelen, one of the best defenders in world football.
And if you're listening to what Owen's saying there and how I pitched it, that 9-10 looks a big price. That's the big pro bet of the weekend.
OK. Republic of Ireland down in Group C. They're playing Kazakhstan on Friday, and I assume it's between them and Sweden to get out of the group with Germany. I mean, that's the best way you can look at it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to get back against Germany, are you?
Exactly, so that's kind of given.
Germany to cruise through. Kazakhstan, I mean, Russ, you know a lot about the Kazakhs, don't you? I mean, how will they line up for
Well, let's not just quite go into the player names, shall we? But let's just say they're in a transitional phase. We said that's probably the best way of putting it. But actually, Republic of Ireland, not a bad price this one. We're around about 4-6, 8-11. Trapp is a guy, isn't he, a manager who has captured the imagination of the Irish public, because he tends to get them out of trouble the same way that Roy Hodgson probably will. But this is a tough group, and as Owen said, with Germany in there, it's about second place, really, isn't it?
There's some nasty places some tough away fixtures in very small, like intimidating grounds. Faroe Islands. If Nigel Seeley of Bet Butler was here, he'd be saying, "Watch out for the weather conditions at the Faroe Islands because it gets windy up there."
Just a bit.
Yeah.
Worse than playing at Grimsby. Northern Ireland in Group F. They've got Russia and Luxembourg. Portugal also in that group. They're not going to make it, are they?
It's a rotten group, that as well. And most punters look at Northern Ireland games and they tend to back them to lose without scoring. Right. Very few goals in that team. Have been traditionally for about the last decade, apart from David Healy. Apart from that, they really do struggle. Okay. This is a brutal fixture in away Russia.
That is a terrible, terrible group. I mean, that is tough. Portugal, Russia. You know, I mean, okay, it gets better when you get down to the Luxembourgs of this world, but Portugal and Russia will drift
Nearly
through
a
that.
wooden spoon double.
Okay.
Northern Ireland and Wales.
All right, let's leave the football for now. Let's move on to the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Come on, Owen. Who's going to win? Would it be Alonso again?
No, I don't think Alonso
Okay.
in this one. I'm going Vettel. I think he needs to basically make his mark, make a comeback, stamp his authority on things. I fancy Vettel in this one.
Okay. How do you make money on that one?
Well, it's the way to make money on this is just to watch practice, absorb, digest all the information. We've got 7 guys with a legitimate shot at winning this Grand Prix at the moment. Fantastic season for Grand Prix. Lots of intrigue, lots of variations in what happens. We've had this 4-week break, haven't we, for engineering purposes as well. This is going to be fascinating, and I do think that Vettel and Red Bull will come strong later in the season. I'm sticking with Kimi Raikkonen here. The Lotus should go well at this particular circuit, but would you really want to be against a Ferrari at Monza? I mean, Alonso's Mr. Consistency
Well, that's
as
why
well.
I'm surprised that Owen's not backing Alonso, because he always does, and yet this time he isn't.
No, just got that feeling, you know,
Okay.
Spain, it's not been a great week for Spain. I just got one of those feelings in my bones that Vettel's going to make a push here and make it a little tighter at the top of the table.
Okay, and a final word, Hamilton off to Mercedes with no confirmation. We've been hearing about that. Is that likely, do you think, with Schumacher retiring?
Well, we're hearing today that McLaren have come out and said that there's no truth behind the rumours. You know, it's not been a spectacular season for Hamilton by any means, but McLaren have got a nice little setup there. 2 British drivers, you know, nice marketing push. I don't know. I can't see it myself.
Great driver, great British driver, favourite for this Grand Prix. Why would you want to leave? He's got the world at his feet still.
Okay, guys, thank you very much indeed for that. That is it for this week. My thanks, as ever, to Reuters' Owen Wyatt and Russ Wiseman of Sporting Bet. Next week, it's back to the Premiership. Join us then. I'm Nigel Stevenson. This is Reuters.